of two lovers, which one to pick? One sweet, but not very quick, and the other one's just a dick.
The first time that I saw The Spanish Hour in the 1970s, I knew that this story related to the queer community. I felt very strongly that it would work with an all-queer cast, and even at that time, I started thinking about, oh, it might be very interesting to have a different voice type sing Conception and modify the other voice types. Building the team was really quite fun, and I immediately knew that Peter Tiefenbach had to be my partner in writing the libretto. We separated different sections of the libretto, but we have a very similar sense of humor, and we're from a very similar generation, and we knew how we wanted to structure the story right away. And Gerrard was the obvious choice for me to be the conductor.
Switching the voice types around, I think, was really an interesting choice. And oddly, it actually seems to work better in a lot of cases. Things lie in a better place. And maybe if Ravel had had this scenario that we're working on available to him, he would have recast it. I don't know. I think it's worth thinking about.
So the whole thing of changing voice types, having a tenor sing, what was a mezzo part, and having a mezzo sing, which is usually a bass part, is actually something that I don't do very often. So I think it's fun to sort of push the boundaries, explore what we can do. And I didn't really know how it was going to sound, but I actually, after having worked on it for a few days, it sounds great. And I love that Simran is singing a part that was written for a bass.
Well, I think it's amazing that this project is a queer project, queer-led, queer-imagined, I guess, like a queer concept, and everybody in the cast is representative of the queer community. So that is what drew me to it. Yeah, I've never been in a queer-led production before, or a queer, I guess, space, queer rehearsal space, and it's been amazing so far.
This fantastic object, so I can hide myself like this. I shall wrap myself in the clothing of my moth.
What drew me to The Spanish Hour is definitely just the opportunity to do a queer project. I haven't done many in my life. I've just graduated from a master's at U of T in their opera program, and so I'm always looking for these kind of projects to do because I think they're so wonderful and really let me express who I truly am, and that just is so wonderful and joyous to me, and I love being joyful in my music making, so it's great to be able to do that with this project.
I found the part of Gonzalve so fun and interesting to begin with, and throwing the non-binary aspect to the character on top of that was really thrilling to me. It's not often you get to see a character like that in the art form of opera. So it was really nice to be able to explore that role in this new reimagining of it.
My love, my fair, is thirsty, open into flower. Yes, come on. Delivery guy will be here soon.
I really like playing roles that exist outside of the gender binary, partially because I've never really identified as particularly male. I don't particularly identify as another gender, even sort of non-binary, but I've never aligned myself to being male particularly. And so I often find in opera specifically, having to play a role that was written however many dozens or hundreds of years ago for a man, there's so much that you can't do because of how small the box of being a man is. And of course, it's an empowered box and it's a privileged box, but it's still a box if you're someone who sort of lives outside those lines.
I actually love this version because one of the things that drives me crazy is that we have so few, really, depictions of gay love and gay life in opera, even though so many people who work in it are clearly interested in these things. And also that it's set in Toronto, and I think there are very few pieces that we see on the operatic stage that are set in our hometowns.